Osric? Yep. We now refer to Osric as the Godfather. Nobody messes with Osric. Nobody touches him for obvious reasons. What? Tell you what? I'm not gonna tell you. Jared can tell you. He's not gonna tell you. He's a little embarrassed. It was all fun and games, and then Jared had to go and dislocate his shoulder. Anyway, yeah. Enough about that. Hi. It's you again. You were my first question yesterday. Lovely to see you again. I can't promise you anything. Yeah, sure. Go. Why didn't Sam look for Dean when he was in purgatory? Because of the promise that they made to each other. Right? Right. Just kidding. No, we don't. I don't know. And you know what? That's one of the storylines that I think they didn't explore as much as they could have. Because Dean didn't seem to be really upset about the fact that his brother just kind of let him rot in purgatory. I think they could have probably fleshed that out a little bit more, but they had to get on to the other storylines. And unfortunately, we only get about 42 minutes per episode to get the story through, or the story told, and sometimes some of those other storylines just kind of get left by the wayside. So I think that was one of them. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how that would. I'd say, hey, do you have to wear the jacket all the time? Can you? I've got to be hot. We got 3 layers on. It's August. I don't know. If I'm that Dean, I would probably say, let's go to a rock concert, and you're driving and picking me up. I definitely want to ride in the car, and but that's it. I'd be like, but drop me off before you go doing what your day job is, because I don't need that headache. And tell your brother to cut his hair. That we don't use, what is it?
Christo.
The crystal?
No, Christo, the word.
Oh, Christo.
Yes.
Why we don't use that in what? In the...
To recognize the one.
Oh, right. No, we did do that, didn't we?
On
See, this is what happens when you change the head writer 3 times. You lose little bits and pieces that the original writer correct, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just kind of go for the holy water now. There's no mistaking that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ask Jeremy Carver that. Say, this bright young woman in Rome brought up a very good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't have an answer for it. I'm sorry. I'm not a writer. I just do what they tell me to do. I'm the dancing puppet. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thrones Convention.
So I wanna know if you are watching the show, and if you like the show.
Yeah, funny story about that. Dean was, you know, in the episode, what was the name of it, with Charlie and yeah, what she said. You have to understand that, like, 195 episodes, I remember what happens, I don't remember the titles all the time, so forgive me. But in that episode, Dean sits down and they watch me in front. Well, when I read the script, I was like, what? I don't know this show. I can't do this. What is this show? Isn't it like a bunch of naked guys running around? And so he's like, no, that's Spartacus. Whatever. I don't want to watch the show. I mean, come on. Nah. So I called the writer and I was like, hey, what? I don't know the show. I'm not gonna like be an advertisement for this show. Like, I'm not interested. He's like, have you never seen the show? No, Robbie, you haven't seen it. He's like, well, I'm gonna send you all the discs then. So he sends me like box sets of season 1 and 2 up to Vancouver, and I'm like, now I've seen every single one of them.
When he realizes that his worst fear comes to weapon.
Well, unfortunately, we probably won't see the reaction of Dean because he's going to be a demon. So, you know, he won't be able to pop out of that. So until or if the real Dean comes back and Dean is gone, then we might see what his thoughts about it are. But yeah, I really like the fact that that was touched on way back then, and now I just have to figure out if I'm going to play it the same way I played it then, now, or if that was, maybe that's just a figment of his imagination of what he thought it would be like, and then I'll play it different. I don't know. I'm on this right now, I'm not thinking about it. I know the writers have just started working on that, so, but I'm anxious to see what happens and how it is. But I don't know that we're going to see a reaction out of Dean because he's not Dean. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, we did see that, so there's a possible way, which might be the way that ultimately Sam saves Dean. I don't know that there's another way that we've introduced the show. Granted that, you know, there might be another way. You know, he might get Crowley to talk, or he might get another human to talk, or maybe Castiel's got some newfound power with Metatron in his situation, and I don't know. There's question marks there of what's going to happen, but there's definitely an option on the table. I don't know if it'll work because then again you've got Dean is probably going to be a little more powerful than a regular demon with the mark of pain, and so I don't know how, you know, that locks the demon in even more or what. But these are all questions that I have as well. So I'll be interested to see how the writers play it out.
Well, thank you. His body is already dead, so I was wondering when he's going to happen.
His body is already dead?
He is dead, so.
Dean is dead. You heard it here. Kaput. Dean is dead. You heard it here. Kaput.